fire here. Right here, this pine tree is going to burn. The reason this pine tree is going to burn is because of all these pine needles hanging in the manzanita. And that just makes it would burn this time of the year. If I lit a fire here, this would burn here. So this is the problem with the pine tree and the manzanita. You know, it's setting up for the pine tree to get burnt down. And this is the classic ladder fuel concept. And we have our chaparral here, and look at all the pine needles gathered in it. And then we have our poison oaks mixed in there also.
But if this was 100 foot from the house, would you still be
it would be less of a threat. But you, like I said, donuts. Now, if it's down slope, if you have a fairly steep slope, you should go 150 feet from your house. And I didn't mention that earlier. So you should increase it more if there's a slope. You increase the distance more. And I can give you better calculations later for that.
Would this block the road if this were burning? Could it prevent access?
Temporarily.
Yes. While it was burning, it would reduce access. What it would do is it would panic the civilians. The firemen, we deal with this all the time. But for citizens moving in and out of the area, this should be reduced. You should have clearance. You know how we have 30-foot clearance from our... We should have 30-foot clearance, or at least back to the right-of-way, to the legal right-of-way that the road has.
So when this is burning, you might be willing to go when it's only 3-foot flame length. You would drive. Your common sense would say, I can make it. In my car, I can drive by. But when you saw it was 12 to 25-foot haul, you're going, no! Turned around and gone the other way. When for us, we just wait till it burns down. Because that's our job, which is to understand a little bit. Some of the stuff is that sometimes you think that fire behavior is a little bit magic or voodoo or takes rocket science. Actually, it's pretty simple. And that you guys know. You guys know that heat rises and that if you have a fire at the bottom of the hill, it wants to burn to the top of the hill. It's the same theory right here. Where's the top of the hill? The fire wants to go from here to there. If the wind's pushing the fire, it wants to go in the same direction as the fire. So, if your daily winds come from where?
South or north, usually.
South. So you can figure that if you have a fire over there, it's going to want to come this way. If there was no wind today, the fire, if it started down there, would want to come this way. And it would always wants to take the path of least resistance, just like water does. Water wants to go down this drainage. Well, fire wants to come up this drainage too. It'll take longer to get to the ridges, and then actually quicker up to the ridges, but when it gets to the top, it wants to slow back down. So that stuff you kind of know from life experiences. But putting it, now this your test. Today's your test. It's August. We got a fire and it's coming your way. You go, oh, I'm not doing so well on my test. But that's kind of the basics. That when you like. Greg says topography. If you chose to build your house on the very top of a ridge, very steep ridge, you may need more than 100 feet to feel comfortable. Whereas here it's a little bit flatter where you're going to get more bang for your buck because there is not. You're going to have a lot of space for it to slow down before it gets to the house.